From the Detroit Free Press, it's Friday, February 5th. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
I'm Clara Hendrickson with the Detroit Free Press. Anecdotes from other states are wielded by both sides in the fight between Michigan Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Republican lawmakers over how to handle the coronavirus. GOP lawmakers have regularly referenced traveling across the border to eat inside restaurants to blast state public health mandates. Whitmer and state health officials, meanwhile, point to other states to argue Michigan has fared better during the most recent phase of the pandemic. The Free Press analyzed health and safety restrictions in place in Michigan and nearby states and stacked them against COVID-19 trends. We found that Michigan's pandemic orders have helped drive down COVID-19 cases compared to states where restrictions were not as stringent or in place as long. At the same time, the economic impact of the pandemic on Michigan appears to be greater than other states. But economists say the interplay between the coronavirus, state restrictions, and the economy is complex. While restrictions have caused short-term economic pain, they say, controlling the virus is necessary for the economy in the long run.
This is Chanel Stitt from the Detroit Free Press. As soon as the sun sets on Wednesdays and Thursdays, the Alternatives for Girls street outreach team drives around Detroit helping women in need. The program is called Safe Choices, and it is an initiative to provide resources to sex workers in the area. Some of the resources include hygiene products, water, and snacks. And every week, volunteers like Jim Mayer and Marissa Graziano serve up to 25 women within a 50-mile radius. It is rewarding to the volunteers when the women that they've helped come to the organization to receive care, take a shower, get free clothes, or try to take a permanent leave from their situation. Alternatives for Girls has a list of resources needed, and you can find those items on the website at alternativesforgirls.org.
This is Neeraj Wargu of the Detroit Free Press with some news on an election in a Detroit suburb. In Dearborn, the race for mayor is heating up as 6 candidates have now announced they're running to lead the city of 94,000 residents that's also the headquarters for Ford Motor Company. This week, Tom Tefelsky, Gary Warrencheck, and Jim Pirelli have announced they're running. Over the past 3 weeks, 3 other candidates also announced: Hussein Berry, Abdullah Hamoud, and Susan DeBaja. The deadline to file to run is April 20th. Like other cities, Dearborn has been hit hard by the coronavirus and is also facing budget challenges. For more information on this race, visit freep.com.
This is Julie Hines from the Detroit Free Press. Actor Dax Shepard grew up in Milford, Michigan, immersed in the Detroit auto industry. So it makes sense that he's one of the hosts of the new Top Gear America, which debuted last week and is available through streaming on the Motor Trend app. On Friday's episode, Shepard and his co-hosts, actor Rob Corddry and British auto journalist Jethro Bovingdon, must each choose a car that they think could become a future classic and be worth major money sometime in the future. Their task is to drive these cars from Arizona to Los Angeles and make the trip all the way through if all the automotive parts hold together and they don't melt from the desert heat, and Corddry isn't overcome by gas fumes from an unexpected issue. You get the idea. For Shepard, the dream car of the future is a 1986 Mustang GT, while Corddry chooses a 1988 Saab SPG, and Bovingdon opts for a 2004 BMW 330 Ci. Shepard's Mustang is a true blast from the past. This is a 10th grade dream come true. So sweet, he says on Friday's episode.
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department with big news out of East Lansing. Big as in the size of the donation Matt Ishbia is giving Michigan State. The former Spartans walk-on didn't have much of a future in pro basketball, but has since become the CEO of United Wholesale, one of the largest mortgage companies in the country that just went public. And now, Ishbia is giving back to the place he calls home, writing a check for $32 million to fund a significant expansion of the football building, which will be named after Ishbia's basketball coach, Tom Izzo. The Hall of Fame coach will now also have his name on the floor at Breslin Center.
I I said, man, it's a good thing he didn't go into coaching because he's done very well for himself. And I really appreciate the way he's taken care of a lot of our former players and some football players. You know, I think he appreciates where he was at, where he's going. Some of that money going into future endeavors for athletes here is really not only much needed and but over needed. You know, guys that aren't.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.